Now, I just thought I'd kind of give you a heads up because we are moving into the second half in terms of eclipse season for 2022. So the next eclipse that's going to happen is on the 25th of October, and that'll be a partial eclipse in Scorpio, I think. So this is part of this Saros 6 South series, and it's a kind of an interesting one. So I did want to kind of give you a heads up. I did talk about this a little bit in my financial astrology forecast, but I just wanted to kind of mention it to those subscribers who don't watch those. So according to Bernadette Brady, this particular Saros series has a slightly manic flavor, and it's all about taking things by force and exerting power, and that's because there's a strong Mars-Pluto signature to this particular series. So a lot of the themes revolve around shows of strength, of political or corporate flexing, of power grabs, power struggles, the use of force, and this can of course manifest in a lot of different ways. So hostile takeovers, laws being imposed upon us, as well as things like war and violence, and of course the rhetoric is certainly ramping up around the whole kind of Russia-Ukraine sort of conflict. So it seems to be sort of in keeping with these themes. So I just wanted to kind of mention this because I do think that it's something to be aware of as we move into the next 6 month phase that will start at the end of October. So in many ways I kind of feel as though October will be a kind of a transition month between one kind of particular energy and another. So yes, just something to sort of be aware of. So I just thought I'd read you what Bernadette Brady says about it in case it is useful. So she says, this eclipse series is about being forceful and taking power. So that could be about self-empowerment with Pluto, being so strongly and positively highlighted at this new moon. But she does say it has a manic flavor about it, with great force or strength manifesting in the relationship area. So, it's interesting because obviously Libra season is all about relationships, and this will happen towards the end of Libra. Well, in fact, it'll happen during Scorpio season. So it's interesting that it's still carrying that sort of that charge of Libra season with it. Individuals experiencing the Saros series may experience sudden events like falling in or out of love, or sudden sexual encounters. The individual may also exert a huge effort in some group activity, and as I said, it's because of the strong Pluto-Mars opposition, and also because the original eclipse was conjunct Venus with a conjunction on the sort of Uranus node midpoint, and of course Uranus is currently on the nodes, so there's an interesting parallel with the original energy of this particular Saros series. So as I say, a very interesting time, a time where I feel is quite liminal in many respects, but there is still within it this kernel of possibility of reinvention and of somehow seeing the potential in any particularly difficult situation. There's always the potential for growth, there's always the potential to learn lessons, there's always the potential to choose not to do something again, and that in and of itself can be about growth. So yeah, I just thought I'd kind of mention it in case it was helpful to sort of know about it a little bit more in advance. So obviously I will be doing more detailed eclipse forecasts as we get closer to the time. Eclipse horoscopes for my subscribers. So if you aren't a member, you might want to subscribe to my newsletter if you haven't already. But yes, that's kind of it from me as far as this new moon forecast is concerned. I'm going to obviously do a cosmic calendar, but I will do it as a separate forecast for my YouTube subscribers. So check that out if you're interested in the sort of day-by-day, blow-by-blow energy of the next 2 weeks or so. But otherwise, I hope that this new moon does bring you some little kind of spring buds of hope and potential, and I'll see you again in 2 weeks for my full moon forecast.